Hey, what's good, y'all? It's C Will, and this is the Passive Income Network. On this podcast, we talk about creating assets that produce passive income. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment and say what's good. On this episode, we have a special podcast feature with Zach Reinhardt of Pocket Properties. Let's welcome on to the show. What's good,
Hey,
Zach?
C. Will. Hey, thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here. I love what you're doing with the show, and I'm excited to contribute.
Oh, most definitely. You know, Algo fam. That's we got to support each other. So it's gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
Again, so this podcast, my show is all about passive income. So that's what we brought you on. Pocket Properties, investing in fractionalized and tokenized real estate. Can you introduce yourself and your role with Pocket Properties, and then also talk about what Pocket Properties is?
Yeah, so my name is Zach Reinhardt. I'm the CMO of Pocket Properties app. We're a Richmond-based startup focused on fractional real estate investing. So what Pocket Properties is that we're a technology company focused on democratizing access to real estate investing for everybody. So that's a little bit about Pocket Properties, and I'm sure we're going to dive into how we do that a little bit and some of the follow-up questions.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. So I'm definitely, as a passive income investor, I got to be interested in this. So this is a mobile-based platform, or is it also like website-based? How does this part work?
Yeah, so currently we launched our beta on the web-based platform. We're still building out the app platform as we speak. We've got some super smart people working on that, making sure it's as perfect as can be before launch. So yeah, right now our beta platform is web-based. You can go to pocketpropertiesapp.com and start investing in a debt deal right now if you wanted to. So definitely recommend going to check that out.
Okay, you said something good there. Debt deal. Oh, excuse me, real quick. Debt deal. Can you break down what is a debt deal? Because I know there's
Yeah.
different ways. Equity in property, debts in property. What is a debt deal, and break that down simple for the audience.
Yeah, and put it simply as I can, I would say, it's somebody coming to our platform looking for a renovation loan to fix up a property. So what they do is they come to us with a project proposal. So this one that we currently have on our platform for the beta is a $25,000 loan that we're essentially crowdfunding to our users. So
Okay.
you can buy a $10 slice of that at a time. That's one share. So if you wanted to invest, $10 at a time and earn up to a 10% return on that investment, you can do that through investing in a debt deal. So, essentially as a user, you'd go on and, look at the project proposal that they bring to us. And then we give all of our users all those key details as well. And they can go on and decide on how much they would want to invest in that project or not. And, one of the things that's really exciting me about this recession that we're kind of entering into, I'm sure as many investors know that since the start of this fiscal year, we've had a pretty steep drop off on the S&P, Bitcoin, basically every asset out there, everything. So that's what makes a debt deal really awesome for a passive income investor or just an investor in general, because when these investors come for these fix and flip loans, they're actually putting their property up as collateral. So they're not going to do that unless they're certain that they're going to be able to pay back this loan. So which essentially we can't guarantee that we're going to give our investors a return back, because that's not something we're legally allowed to do. So but essentially it's as close as it gets in my eyes for an investment. So so nobody's going to try to borrow $25,000 if they can't pay it back when their house is, or their property that they're trying to improve is up as collateral. So yeah, it really ensures that we can pay back our investors with some pretty solid interest, and a 10% return in this market in 6 months is pretty phenomenal. I know I'm getting pretty wrecked on my portfolio, and I'm in a number of different assets. So, but I know I'm not the only one, so I feel a little more comfortable about that. The market can't go up forever. So
No, it cannot go up forever. But most of us is wrecked for sure, depending on what you're doing. That's again why I like the real estate, because the real estate, like the REITs, tokenized real estate, anything that's connected to real estate right now in that form is actually doing pretty well. So I do have real estate positions in my portfolio. And then looking at this, I want to dive more into this debt thing. So if we here want to do a renovation, what are the limits? Like you said, 25,000. right? How much money can you go up towards these renovations for crowdfunding? And then what in terms of interest, there's an interest tacked on there, and that's how we're paying the borrowers back, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so I believe I wish Stan was here to answer this question because he's our compliance guy. He knows
Yeah,
SEC regulations like the back of his hand. He's
for
he's
sure.
a whiz kid for sure. Yeah, he's got a degree out of William and Mary in government compliance, so it's his
Government,
go-to. He's a
yeah,
glutton for punishment. I don't know how he does it, but he can
that's
sit there and
crazy.
read all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if I recall correctly, I believe it's up to 5 million you can raise through Reg CF.
Oh shit.
So if you had a project that large and you wanted to raise funding for, you could bring it to our platform and get it funded by our user base.
With this, with the debt equities, right? Are we in a situation where we're borrowing this money for fix and flips, right? And which is,
Mhm.
in my idea, to replace like a hard money loan lender, because
Right.
hard money lenders is kind of similar. They're giving you the money, you fix your property up, and then they want you to sell it within a certain window of time. Usually, I believe less than 2 years or 1 year. So,
Mhm.
is this similar to that, basically?
Yeah. Essentially, it's a hard money loan through a crowdfunding avenue. So, yeah, typically the projects that we've had proposed to us, they are planning on selling the property after they're done. But regardless of that matter of fact, once they enter the deal and they say they're going to pay it back in a certain amount of time frame, we honestly, don't really care how they pay back our users as long as they're paid back. So I
Yeah.
don't think our users really care as long as they're getting, what they were promised on the return end. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, essentially most of them will be fix and flip style projects.
Nice. That's dope. So again, why the Algorand blockchain? Always a great question. And what's the
Yeah.
utility with the Algorand blockchain for this project?
Oh man, the utility for Algorand, it kind of goes on endlessly. But the main thing that we saw was super interesting is the way they set up their Algorand standard assets. So that's basically like the smart contract version of Algorand. So we really, through a cap table management standpoint and like these fund managers and people setting up these back end, back office tasks, we can
Yep.
automate a lot of that through these Algorand standard assets, which really can lower the expenses that these fund managers pay on the back end. So we can we're doing these projections that we can save them like 30 to 40% on the back end. And when that on a $5 million fund, when they're paying upwards of 250,000, 500,000, cutting that down to under 100,000 is really powerful, and it saves them a bunch of money, and then it also makes them so much more profitable. So that for the Algorand standard asset portion, the smart contracts. And then also, Algorand is one of the ISO
Yep.
20022, I believe,
Yeah.
SEC approved blockchains for these types of transactions. So being, as we are selling securities, having a blockchain approved by the Securities and
Yep.
Exchange Commission is definitely a huge thing for us. And we want to be, we have Big Brother watching over our shoulder.
Oh,
So
man, I always make a joke. I'm like, Algorand is totally the government chain, because just based on all the the regulation, the MIT works with the government,
yeah.
and again, we want to be compliant because we don't want to be investing in something where our money is going to be taken away from us, or we're doing something sketchy.
Right.
So I love it.
Right, and it kind of prevents the fear everybody has in dabbling in these blockchain protocols, or all these new technology companies are getting rug pulled. So this really,
Yes.
SEC is there for a reason. They're supposed to be protecting investors,
Yes.
and I strongly believe that they do have the best interest in mind. So and it may not always seem like it, but
Of
I
course.
definitely think that these regulations are fair.
Like, so you said Algorand standard asset. Do we really mean in the form of like a token as a representation of our percentage of this property, or is it more of like an NFT that is this same type of thing, a representation of our ownership?
Right. So currently, we're not having a user-facing a standard asset. It's going to
Okay.
be on the back end for managing these funds and keeping track of everything, and just automating a lot of the back end processes. So that makes it easier for the fund managers to do. And then on the user-facing side, it's going to be a typical jargon, like buying shares in an asset. We're trying to keep it as familiar as possible to people without the blockchain back experience.
You know what's cool about what y'all are doing too. Like we talked before, but like Lofty is another project that I'm investing
Hmm.
in. Clearly, y'all are doing something totally different. But
Hmm.
I'm noticing that this just fractionalized investing, even Robinhood apps, they're doing it with
Yep.
stocks now. It has become the new thing, and it's definitely blockchain. Algorand is definitely
Yeah.
built for this transaction, though, and I'm loving it. In terms of this project now, what is the ideal clients like? Is it for everybody? I know it's $10, so let's talk about that some more. Is it for everybody? U.S. Is it for international, or is it like U.S. based and open opportunities for everybody? What's it like?
Yeah, so currently the investment opportunities we're looking at, so the real estate we're looking at bringing onto our platform is all going to be U.S. based. We don't have any plans currently to, have any, European or Chinese or Japanese or any other country real estate on there. But we are for the user facing end. If you want to invest, from Nigeria, or if you want to invest from, Japan, you can do that on our platform. So we're an international company in that aspect. Yes.
Nice. And yeah, it's dope that you brought up Nigeria too. If most people ain't heard the big announcements, Algorand's
Yeah.
working with Nigeria, so for
Yeah.
intellectual
Yeah.
property and all these type of things, deeds and stuff. So this is huge. Okay, we got to get down to the bones of it. How do I make money? I buy, and when is the payment schedule? What's that like?
Yeah, so like when with our beta platform right now with the debt platform that's on our beta, simply you just go in and buy shares, and then you wait until the 6 month period is finished. So the turnaround should be about 6 months. The funding period though is about 90 days. So you can, like, once the project is listed on our platform, you have 90 days to enter into that project, and then from there we'll distribute the funds to the borrower, and then the borrower will go in and do what he wants to do and upgrade the real estate how he sees fit. And then after that's all said and done, he has a set amount of time to pay back that loan. And then once we get that loan paid back, it goes directly to our users. So it's about a 6 month turnaround for a 10% return. So we can't say, like,
Yeah.
you're
No
gonna get
guarantees.
10%. Yeah, but it's more than likely going to be 10%. So, which is phenomenal in this market that we're in right now. I would love a 10% return myself.
Bro, yeah, because like again, real estate, it got the cash flow, it pays, and we all seeing the value shoot through the roof. So I'm always like, make sure that
Yeah.
y'all build a nice position in that in your portfolios because of clearly what we've seen, the down crash, Terra Luna, the
Yeah.
401ks are down, like all of this. So yeah, it's amazing.
So we're really looking to grow into a way that somebody could dollar cost average into real estate. So whether it's like, so right now we have one on our beta, we have one option available. We plan to have hundreds of options available in the near future. That way you can kind of throw in $10 here and there, and eventually we're going to get that minimum lowered. So you'll be able to invest as much as you want in the near future, as little as you want. At any time, and slowly build up your real estate portfolio in a way that you see fit. And I'm a strong advocate for dollar cost averaging strategy, not throwing all your eggs in the basket at one time. And we actually got accepted into this Virginia startup program. It's actually in the building I'm at right now.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of startups out of here. We actually have the founder of Brownlee X, if you've heard of them.
No, what's that?
They're kind of like, they're have you heard of Acorns?
Yes.
They round up your change into stocks. So what they do
Okay,
is
that makes sense.
basically the same thing, but with crypto, which is very, that's basically how I invest in crypto my whole life so far. So
Oh
being able to
shit.
do it, just rounding up some transactions, swiping your
Yeah.
card and just automatically going to your favorite, whether you want to be buying off Coinbase or
Oh wow.
Binance. Yeah, you can connect those platforms together, then it will automatically start
Oh,
rounding up.
that's
So yeah, so
interesting.
to me that's a good way of buying the average of the market throughout the year. So I've gotten to talk to Drew a couple of times. He's a really smart guy, and it's just great being around other founders of technology companies all in the same building.
Nice, nice. You said Virginia, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Virginia startup.
Okay, so let's talk more about like how did you find this project and like why did you want to be the chief marketing officer? I'm always interested in the person.
Oh yeah. So Yeah, I was recently exiting another business that I was a part of, that I started, and I was kind of in that limbo phase, and I was just kind of like day trading, buying some crypto,
Yeah,
investing,
yeah.
and
Yep.
that's kind of been my go-to since I was basically 18 years old. So
Dope.
once I seen on social media, one of my mutual friends of Stanley's, the other co-founder, he was posting some content about starting Pocket Properties app, and it piqued my interest. So I reached out to Stan and the team, and I was actually the third person onboarded. So
Oh
once I
wow.
saw the vision of the company, and I got to talk to Stan, and I was like, wow, this guy's a genius. So I definitely want to work with him any chance I get.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just really the future I wanted to see, and I was honestly looking into ways to invest in real estate, and add that to my portfolio, which I didn't really find any ways that fit what I wanted to do with
Yep.
my investment strategy. So, uh, being as Stan had this spot available, I was like, hey man, he knew my experience in some of my previous companies, saw some of my work, so he was like, come on board. And then the rest is kind of history. So now we're making progress every week, if not every month, just killing the game. So
Hell yeah.
it's been an awesome journey so far.
Congrats. That's dope. What's like the backing is because you say you're already in this accelerator program. Are you in the Miami Algorand accelerator, or do y'all got any like borderless capital funding or in things of that nature?
So we're working on getting into the Algorand grant program. We just submitted our application here recently, so we're waiting to hear back on that. Definitely looking forward to hearing the news. And another company based out of Startup Virginia's building here that I mentioned earlier. Their company's called Outside, and they're a carbon credit system based on Algorand. I wish I could tell you a little bit more about their project, but I just recently heard about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they recently got accepted into the grant program, and they're doing really good. But we are part of a couple other accelerated programs. So we're part of I'm drawing a blank.
So the money flowing though.
Yeah. We're part of a handful of other ones. So
Yeah.
New Chip Accelerator is one of them. So that one's been really helpful. They've been getting us into I think at least 50 VC meetings that we've been a part of so
Damn.
far. And, it sounds like, 50 VCs of, we've talked to, and yet we haven't gotten funded. But that, I think it took Facebook over 100 to
Man.
get funded. So, and there's a lot of companies there where we kind of know that the average for a lot of these companies is, over 100 discussions with these VC groups. So it doesn't discourage us at all. It helps us refine what we're doing and, get better, the feedback that we get from them. So it's been awesome to have New Chip help out like that. And they've also provided a lot of other, educational resources, like Growth University. I think they just changed their name as well. I'd have to double check what that is. Growth University, yeah, and they do a bang up job of just educating founders on how to get to where they want to be. So it's been a pleasure working with them as well.
So that's dope. And, it's always a good with projects. I'm like, okay, who behind it? So I'm always investigating who supports it. So it's good that like hearing y'all going to all these VC meetings, and the average what I've seen too is like they take 1%. Like the guys I talk to, I haven't like built a startup and went through that process, but I do a monthly Twitter space with other people, and I'm coming in with different perspectives. But yeah, Joe Carbon, one of the guys, he was like he went to one of these type of startup or investors, and he was like 100 people said, or 99 said no.
Yeah.
And I believe he had that one. So yeah, it's definitely a numbers game. And as you say, your pitch deck and all your abilities get better after you meet with more and more investors. So that definitely is dope.
Yeah, and it only takes that one to believe in you, and then have faith in the team and to pull the trigger on it. So, and that's what we're looking for. So, once we get that, we should be flying off on our rocket ship and getting things done a little bit quicker, be able to, hire a little bit more talent and have a little bit more brain power on the team.
Excellent. Back to Pocket Properties. Like, can you break down the revenue model? Because I'm always interested. How do y'all eat in terms of Pocket Properties?
Yeah. So with the people coming on, I'll use the beta platform because it's the most relevant right now. So we just charge points up front to the borrower. So basically, we get a certain percentage up front if somebody wants to come on our platform and raise funding that way. And then the other fund model that we're working on would be a subscription-based model. So it's kind of going to be like an Angels List, if you're familiar with them. It's basically going to be an Angels List, but directed towards real estate funds rather than startup funds. So basically, go ahead.
No, I'll just say, is there any competition out there? I'm feeling like a VC right now. I got to ask all these.
It's good practice. It's good practice. Not that I know of directly in the real estate space. There's competitors in the fractional real estate industry as well. There's Fundrise. There's Lofty that you brought up earlier.
There's
probably we find out a new one every month or so. So it seems like they just keep popping up and trying to fractionalize real estate, which it's such a large industry that that we're not looking to be the only player in the game, because that's not realistic. We actually have a pretty good relationship with the people from Propty. We talk to them on a regular basis. They're based out of London, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And they're on a similar model of fractional real estate as well, but not necessarily a direct competitor to what we've developed here at Pocket Properties.
Well, I'll say, hey, more power to you. You know what I mean? Because like I do love the open. Well, I'll say not only like say competition, but collaborations and a lot of options to choose from. Because you don't want to have just one company that's doing this and then something happens. So I do like to diversify my investments and my money. And then, as you said, that helping each other, because I can imagine y'all gonna start having conferences, talking to each other, and figuring out how to tokenize everything, and that seems like where the world is going.
Yeah, and I've actually reached out to the guys from Propty with that same thought in mind of having some conferences and getting them to come speak at it as well. So that's in the works. It was we're in the ideation phase of that conference. So hopefully we can make that happen soon, and maybe we can even get you to come on and speak, as you've got a lot of experience talking to startups and the Algorand community as a whole. So it'd be great to have you as well. So
I'll
trying to build out that list of guests.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's slowly start to close out. What should we look for next with Pocket Properties, or something in terms of like roadmap for the retail people?
Yeah, and right now we're working on a website redesign that will include a lot of the things that we're trying to do in the near future. So we're going to be onboarding a lot of funds, traditional funds, and even we're looking into a metaverse fund. So hopefully that's right around the corner as well, where people will be able to invest alongside an expert in investing in the metaverse. So we've been in talks with several companies and people that have had a lot of success doing so. And I think that's something really exciting.
That sounds crazy.
Renovate
my metaverse home.
It's a wild concept for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. But if there's money there to invest and money to be made, then we want to bring that option to our users. It's not up to us to decide if it's a good investment or bad investment. That's why we're building out this marketplace. So everybody can have their own say in what gets invested in.
Nice. Okay. Well, where can the people find y'all? Can you
you can follow us on Twitter at pocketpropsapp.com, and I'll see if we can upload the link in the description.
Yes,
I'll send that over to Will, and then you can also follow us on Instagram at Pocket Properties App, and you can follow me on Twitter at Zach Reinhardt1. And then you can also go to our website, pocketpropertiesapp.com, if you want to start sign up and start investing in some debt deals today.
Okay, nice. One last thing before we go.
Yeah.
Can you give any, I'll say like any advice or just some words of wisdom to someone building a startup in this time, especially in this bear market right now?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of successful companies that have grown out of the previous bear markets and recessions. Like the first one that comes to mind is Tesla. They had a lot of bumps in the road along the way. People, it was one of the most shorted stocks of all time once they got publicly listed, and they overcame. But it didn't happen overnight for them, and it doesn't happen overnight for most people. It's that slow grind and the consistent work and, getting towards that vision is the biggest thing for me. So I'd say consistency and staying on the path that you want to be on. So not giving up too early.
Oh, I love it. Oh, nice. That's great advice. Thank you. All right. Let me do my outro. I'm going to let you out and I'll holler at you
Gotcha.
in the other side. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, Chris.
Yep. Okay, y'all. So, Pocket Properties, another Algorand project that is dope. Shout out to Zach for coming on here to conversate with us and break it down. All the Algo found, make sure y'all go follow them. All the links will be in the descriptions. And then I think this was a great educational session to see what all the other options we have, especially again in this bear market. Build your positions, y'all. Again, C Will with the Passive Income Network. Look out for this show to be on Spotify, always first on YouTube, and it'll be on Apple Music or Apple Podcast as well. Hit that subscribe and that like button. And until the next time, y'all. C Will with the Passive Income Network. I am gone. Passive income, passive income, passive income. Gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple. We getting all this money to purchase rentals and get passive income, passive income, passive income. Gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple. We getting all this money to purchase rentals and get